Alright guys, here is a short video on polynomial long division. So before we get into dividing polynomials, let's remember good old long division with numbers. So let's say I have this awful number, 25,600, oh, I read that wrong. 256,842 divided by 3. So we're going to divide this. So we're going to do 3 goes into 2, 5, 6, 8, 4, 2. First question you ask is 3 goes into 25 how many times? 3 times 8 is 24. That's as close as we can get. Now we subtract. 25 minus 24 is 1. We bring down the 6. 3 times what is 16? We can get 3 times 5 without overshooting that. 3 times 5 is 15. We're going to subtract, bring down the 8. Now 3 times what is 18? 3 times 6 is 18. Remainder is 0. We're going to bring down the 4. 3 times what is 4? 3 times 1. 3 times 1 is 3. That's the biggest we can get without overshooting that guy. And now we bring down the 2. 3 times 4 is 12. So when we divide this, we get 8, 5, 6, 1, 4. And what that means is I can do 8, 5, 6, 1, 4 times 3. And if I multiply it by 3, then I get 2, 5, 6, 8, 4, 2. In other words, 3 is a factor of this number because we can divide it evenly by 3. Now, it turns out that polynomials are going to behave in the exact same way, which is kind of cool because they look so different, but we can do the same type of operation. So let's say we start with this polynomial, x cubed plus 6x squared plus 11x plus 6. We want to divide it by this. We're going to divide it by x plus 1. Now, we don't know for sure if it'll be divisible, but we're going to try. It'll be the same process, the same kind of long division. So we're going to do x plus 1. That's our divisor. We're going to call this guy our divisor. And so we put that over on the left-hand side. And we're going to put this guy inside 6x squared plus 11x plus 6. Okay, now the first question you're going to ask yourself is x times what is going to give me x cubed? So let me clear some things out. So what you're asking yourself is this. You're saying x times what gives me x cubed? Now notice we're not going to worry right now about the plus 1. We're just going to ignore the plus 1 for now. So all we're going to do is we're saying x times what gives me x cubed? And the answer to that is x squared. So we can put that in here. We're going to put our x squared. Okay, so that's the first step. You're saying what times what is x cubed? Now the next step is we're going to multiply the x squared by both of these things. You got to multiply by both. So x squared times x is x cubed, which is exactly what we wanted. X squared times x is going to be x squared. Now the next step is to subtract. So minus, minus, we're subtracting this. And we did this right because that term canceled out. So that is a good sign. Underneath this, 6x squared minus x squared is 5x squared. And just like normal long division, we're going to bring down the 11x. Okay, so now we're asking ourselves a different question. We're saying x times what is going to give me 5x squared? X times what is going to give me 5x squared? And you've already thought of the answer to that. It's going to be 5x. So we're going to put our 5x in this box right here. Okay, now just like before, we're going to multiply this. So 5x is going to hit both of those guys. So 5x times x is 5x squared, and that's a good sign. We want to get these matching up with each other. 5x times 1 is 5x. And we're kind of indifferent on that one. It'd be nice if it canceled with the 11x, but we're not picky. As long as we get this 5x squared to cancel, we're good. Now we're going to subtract, so we're going to change that to a minus and a minus. When we subtract that out, that's going to give us Nothing. 11x minus 5x, that's going to give us 6x, and we bring down the 6. Okay, now we're asking ourselves x times, let's erase this out. Okay, so we're saying x times what is going to be 6x? And you've already thought of the answer to that. X times 6 is 6x. And so we're going to put the 6 right here. Okay, and just like before, last step is we're going to multiply the 6 by both of those things. That's going to give you 6x plus 6, and you're going to subtract, and you're going to get a 0 remainder. So because we get a 0 remainder, we know that x plus 1 is a factor of the polynomial. Okay, let's do a different one. Let's talk about what happens when you don't get an even remainder. Let's look at this. Let's say we have 3, 1, 1 divided by 2. If we do the long division, 2 times what is 3? 2 times 1 is 2. We're going to subtract. 3 minus 2 is 1. We're going to bring down the 1. 2 times what is 11? 2 times 5 is as close as we can get. Multiply the 5 and the 2. That gives us 10. Subtract. That gives us 1. Bring down the 1. 2 times 5 is 10. Bring down the 1. There's nothing else to bring down here. We could go decimals, but we're not going to worry about that. We have a remainder of 1. Now, the way we can write this is we can write this as 155. We're going to get that remainder, 1, and we're going to put it over our divisor, that 1, that 2. So we can say 311 over 2 is the same thing as 155 and a half. Let's do another one that has a denominator. Let's say we do 73 over 5. So 5 goes into 7 one times. 5 times 1 is 5. Subtract 23. 5 times 4 is 20. Subtract, remainder is 3. And we're going to write this as 14 and 3/5. The 5 is the same as that 5. So 14 and 3/5. Now the same thing will be true for polynomials. Let's do this one. Let's get our polynomial. X cubed plus 6x squared plus 11x plus 6. And we're going to try dividing this thing by something that won't divide evenly. Let's do x plus 5. Okay, so when we divide it by x plus 5, we're going to put the x plus 5 right here. And we're asking ourselves, x times what is x cubed? And that answer to that is x squared. That x squared multiplies both of those guys. That's going to give us x cubed plus 5x squared. Now we're going to go through and we're going to subtract these guys. When we subtract them, minus, minus, that cancels. 6x squared minus 5x squared is going to give you 1x squared. We're going to bring down the 11x. Now we're saying x squared times what is going to give you x squared? And the answer to that is just a single x. Let's get the colors right. Okay, now we're going to multiply by both of those. That's going to give us x squared plus 5x. We're going to switch the signs. That's going to give us 11x minus 5x is, wait a second, 6x. Okay, so we get 6x plus 6. And this, we ask ourselves, x times what is going to give us 6x? The answer to that is going to be a 6. But then, when we multiply this, we're going to get 6x. 6 times 5 is 30. We're going to subtract, subtract. That cancels. We're going to get negative 24. So our remainder is negative 24. And just like we did with our fractions, we're going to write this as negative 24 over this whole thing, x plus 5. So now when we divide this polynomial by x plus 5, it doesn't divide evenly. In other words, x plus 5 is not a factor of the polynomial. And when we divide, we get the remainder of negative 24, and we can express it this way. Okay, that's it.